ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शंकरं लोक शंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्र भाष्य कृतौ वंदे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ओम त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ओम गुरुदेव भगवान शिव शंकर भोलेनाथ कैलाशपति महाराज की जय हो। भगवान व्यास जी महाराज की जय हो। शंकराचार्य भगवान की जय हो। स्वामी तपोवन जी महाराज की जय हो। स्वामी चिन्मयानंद भगवान की जय हो। स्वामी दयानंद भगवान की जय हो। स्वामी प्रबुद्धानंद भगवान की जय हो। स्वामी शुद्धानंद भगवान की जय हो। साध्वी आनंद ज्योति जी की जय हो। सभी गुरु देवताओं की जय हो। माता पिता की जय हो। ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ अष्टमो अध्यायः अक्षर ब्रह्म योगाय। अक्षर ब्रह्म योगाय। अक्षर ब्रह्म योग से मतलब है कि नॉन पेरिशेबल, जो नॉन पेरिशेबल है, जो कभी क्षय नहीं होता, वह ब्रह्म है, वह ईश्वर है। उसे ईश्वर, उसे ब्रह्म कहते हैं। सो व्हाट इज अर्जुन वांटेड टू नो, अर्जुन जानना चाहते थे व्हाट इज द नेचर ऑफ ब्रह्मा। द नेचर ऑफ ब्रह्मा इज, द ब्रह्म इज अक्षरः। अक्षरः, अनपेरिशेबल, ही इज नॉन पेरिशेबल, जो पैरिश नहीं, जो कभी क्षय नहीं होता, जिसका कभी क्षय नहीं होता, वह ब्रह्म है। इसका विवरण देते हुए भगवान कहते हैं अक्षरम परम, अक्षरम ब्रह्म परमम स्वभाव अध्यात्मम उच्यते भूत भावो भव कर विसर्ग कर्म संगीता अधिभूत क्षरो भाव पुरुषश्च दिदेवतम् अधियज्ञो अहमेव वात्र देहे देहभृतांबर अंतकाले च मामेव स्मरण मुक्त्वा कलेवरं यः प्रयाति स मद्भावं याति नास्ति तत्र संशय यं यं वा अपि स्मरणेन भावं त्यजति अन्तकलेवरं तं तं एव एति कौन्तेय सदा तद्भाव भावति ही। भगवान कहते हैं कि अर्जुन के प्रश्न पूछने पर भगवान कहते हैं कि आदि भूत, आदि दैव और आदि यज्ञ के विषय में अर्जुन ने जो 3 प्रकार के प्रश्न किए, उनका उत्तर देते हुए भगवान कहते हैं कि आदि भूतम, उत्पत्ति विनाश धर्म वाले सब पदार्थ, आदि भूतम, आदि भूत हैं, सभी वस्तुएं हैं जिनका, जो पैदा होती हैं, जिनका विनाश होता है, जो उत्पन्न, those which are the objects which are for birth and death, those which are for birth and death, धर्म वाले सब पदार्थ आधिभूत हैं। all the inert objects are perishable, all inert objects, all inert, inert means जो जन्मते हैं और मरते हैं। जो भी वस्तु, जो भी ऑब्जेक्ट जन्मता है, मरता है, दैट इज आधिभूतम। पुरुष आदिभूत है और पुरुष आदिदैव है। पुरुष कौन है? हिरण्यमय पुरुष, जो द फॉर्मलेस, व्हेन फॉर्मलेस अपीयर्स टू बी द फॉर्म, इज हिरणमय। हिरणमय, हिरणमय पुरुष, जिसको शास्त्र में सूत्रात्मा भी कहते हैं, जिसको हिरण्यगर्भ भी कहा जाता है, जिन्हें प्रजापति भी कहते हैं, ब्रह्म इत्यादि नामों से भी जाना जाता है। ऐसे को आदि आदि दैवम, आदि दैवतम, आदि देव है। और देह भ्रतांबर, और हे देहधारियों में श्रेष्ठ अर्जुन, इस शरीर में, इस शरीर में जिसमें जो जो नॉन पेरिशेबल है, जो कभी नहीं जन्मता और मरता, जो इस शरीर के द्वारा, जिसमें ये शरीर भासित होता है, जिसमें ये शरीर भासित होता है, वह आत्मा अहम, वह अत्र देहे अहम एव आदि यज्ञ। इस शरीर में परमात्मा, मैं वासुदेव ही अंतर्यामी रूप से आदि यज्ञ हूं, डेटी ऑफ ऑल यज्ञ, मैं ही पूजनीय हूं। इस शरीर में मौजूद मैं ही, इस शरीर में मौजूद मैं ही आदि यज्ञ हूं, ऐसा भगवान कहते हैं। अंत काल में भगवान का स्मरण का फल अर्जुन के 7वें प्रश्न का उत्तर था। अंत काले च मामेव स्मरण मुक्त्वा कलेवरम। भगवान कहते हैं जो पुरुष अंत काल में भी मुझको ही स्मरण करता हुआ शरीर को त्याग करता है। अंत काल में मतलब जो जो थॉट्स का, द वन हु इज, जन्मता मरता कौन है? लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड दिस। आज इस बात को क्लियर किया जाए कि जन्म मरण किसका होता है। टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू क्लियर दिस टॉपिक फॉर एवर। जन्म मरण कहते हैं जी शरीर का जन्म मरण होता है, बट शरीर का जन्म मरण नहीं होता। The body which comes from elements goes back to elements, the 5 elements। जो शरीर इन 5 तत्वों से बनता है, वो 5 तत्व में वापस चला जाता है। वो सिर्फ ऐसा दिखता है कि आया और गया। अदरवाइज शरीर इज, व्हाट इज बॉडी? बॉडी इज स्पेस, एयर, फायर, वाटर एंड अर्थ। दैट इज इट। दिस इज व्हाट इज बॉडी। And you know 70% of your body is water alone. So the body is just 5 elements and it goes back into 5 elements. So elements ka to birth and elements go back into Ishwara. We have studied this. हमने ये जाना है कि पांचों तत्व जो है वो ईश्वर है, ईश्वर है। ये बात क्लियर है ना कि पांचों तत्व ईश्वर है। तो पांचों तत्व ईश्वर है तो वो ईश्वर में चले जाते। So who dies? Who takes the birth? कौन पैदा होता है और कौन मरता है? Who is the one who, I as Brahman, I the one who is in this body, who is presumed to be in this body, also doesn't die and born, because it is me, the Brahman, in which the body take place and in which the body resolves. I am the Brahman. So I don't die. I am always there. So what does die? क्या चीज ऐसी है जो मरती है? जो मरती है वो है आपकी वृत्ति, द थॉट दैट आई एम दिस बॉडी। द थॉट डाइज, द थॉट इज बॉर्न दैट आई एम दिस बॉडी। I am this body. The thought of being this body is born. That is the birth. And what is the death? The thought that I am leaving this body is the death. इस बात को अच्छी तरह से गहन में उतार लीजिए. Even the body doesn't die. All body. This is an elemental form. Ji, elemental form goes back to elements, and element goes back to Ishvara, and I am that Ishvara. So who dies? It is only कौन मरता है, कौन जीता है? तो कौन मरता है? The thought जो होता है, वो जो हुआ है वो मरता है, जो पैदा होता है वो मरता है. तो कौन पैदा हुआ है? वृत्ति. वृत्ति ऑफ बीइंग दिस बॉडी. I am the thought of I am is born, and that thought only dies. So what dies? अंतकाल में जो भगवान को स्मरण करता है, जो भगवान को स्मरण करता है अंतकाल में, मीन्स द वन हु रिकॉग्नाइजेस ईश्वरा, जो भगवान को पहचानता है. एट द अंतकाल मीन्स when the thoughts, when all other thoughts, when all other thoughts of being this, that, and all the thought subsides, the only thought remains is I am Ishvara. And that thought also resolves. There is no thought. Then thoughtless me, when that thoughtless me, वो शरीर को, ही इज नो मोर अ बॉडी, वो शरीर को त्याग कर जाता है, वह मेरे साक्षात स्वरूप को, ही रीचेज मी, वो मेरे स्वरूप के साथ एकाकार हो जाता है. ही बिकम्स वन विद मी. ही इज नो मोर, बिकॉज देयर इज नो थॉट बॉडी थॉट. जब मैं शरीर हूं ये थॉट नहीं रहती, तब क्या रहता है? तब सिर्फ ईश्वर. इवन ईश्वर, आई एम ईश्वरा, दिस थॉट ऑल्सो रिजॉल्व्स. दिस थॉट, मैं ईश्वर हूं, ये थॉट भी कहां रिजॉल्व हो जाता है? ईश्वर में रिजॉल्व हो जाता है. सो देयर इज नो थॉट लेफ्ट, ओनली what? There is nothing left, only Ishvara is. Ishvara is. And that Ishvara is also not is. Ishwar is Paramam. This is what we did in this first shloka. Bhagwan Ben said, Akshara Param, Akshara Brahma Param. Ishwar is not hai, Ishwar is. Ishwar is not is. Being is, it is not is. It is Param. It is only Ishwara. सिर्फ ईश्वर है भी नहीं. है का भी, है भाव भी जो है होना भी थॉट है. एंड वो थॉट, वो विचार भी रिजॉल्व हो जाता है. देयर इज नो है पना, ओनली ईश्वर. एंड दिस वर्ड कॉल्ड ईश्वर ऑल्सो रिजॉल्व्स. नाउ जस्ट बी इन, जस्ट यू आर ईश्वरा. दिस इज व्हाट भगवान इज सेइंग. ये बात भगवान आपको समझाते हैं. अंत काले च मामेव स्मरण मुक्त्वा कलेवरम यप्रयाति सब मद्भावम याति नास्ति अत्र संशय. इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है. देयर इज नो डाउट. So don't think the body is dead. There is a death हो गया, body हो गया. There is no death. There is no death at all, because there was no birth also. It was only you thought this is, body has taken place. Birth has taken. The body has come. There is nothing coming and going. It is only the elements which forms due to gunas. क्योंकि कुछ गुणों की वजह से एलिमेंट्स जो है वो एक शरीर का रूप धारण करते हैं. एंड दैट शरीर हैज अ, दैट शरीर यात्रा बिगिंस. I am, and that I becomes businessman, and that I becomes a saint, and that I becomes so and so and so and so. I am student, I am young, I am old, and all, when all thoughts resolve, and only thought of I remains, and that also resolves in Ishvara. I am Ishvara, and the thought of being Ishvara is also resolved. Ishvara Paramam, Brahma Paramam. That Brahma is Aksharaha. That Brahma, which we, हम लोग जिसे अक्षर के द्वारा बोलते हैं, that अक्षर ब्रह्म, that अक्षर ब्रह्म is param. परम, why he is called परम, भगवान को, ब्रह्म को परम बोलते हैं, नॉट है। अक्षर ये नहीं बोलते अक्षर ब्रह्म अस्ति, नहीं बोला, अक्षर ब्रह्म परमम। भगवान ब्रह्म, अक्षय ब्रह्म जो है, जिस जो कभी जो जो द नॉन पेरिशेबल ब्रह्म इज नॉट है, ही इट इज परमम, परम, वो है नहीं, वो परम है। ऑल है इज इन इट, ऑल है इज व्हाट, ऑल है क्या है, ऑल है थॉट्स, ओनली थॉट्स, सिर्फ थॉट्स हैं, एंड दीज थॉट्स रिजॉल्व, the thought of being body resolves, and it resolves into all thoughts resolve into one thought, and that thought is I am, and I am resolves in I am Ishvara, and Ishvara alone is, and that Ishvara is Param, and that Ishvara is Param. It is also not hai, wo bhi hai nahi hai. This is you, this should be very clear, this should be very clear to you. It is only the thought that takes birth, and it is only a thought. I am dying is only a thought. Nothing is there, nothing. All elements come and element goes, that's it. Element changes, एलिमेंट्स अपना स्वरूप बदलते हैं ड्यू टू सर्टन गुणास, और वो गुण क्या है, तमोगुण, रजोगुण एंड सतोगुण. All these gunas form, and because of these gunas, element forms certain body, certain kind of mixture is formed, and that mixture is this body. I hope ये बात आप समझ गए होंगे. This is what Swami ji was trying to explain in our class yesterday. आज हम आगे कंटिन्यू करते हैं. अंतकाले च मामेव स्मरण मुक्त्वा. This we will continue. The Swami ji was explaining this. A wise man know he is Brahman even at the time of death. Even at the time of death, the wise. भगवान जो है ना, स्वामी जी महाराज व्यवहारिक और भावात्मक अर्थ. See, all these shlokas have 4 different meanings. What are the 4 different kind of meaning? The first meaning is a shabdartha. Shabd ka artha hai. And the second meaning is vyavaharik artha. The way you do vyavahara. There is a vyavaharik artha. And then there is a bhavartha. You and Ishwar artha. And then there is only the 5th artha, which is paramartha. And paramartha is when only Ishvara, Param Brahma. So all these shlokas, तो भगवान जब explain करते हैं, he talks from vyavharik point of view, from bhavik point of view, and then he also explains the paramartha. So param को पकड़ना, व्यवहारिक को पकड़ना नहीं है. ना व्यवहारिक को पकड़ने की जरूरत है, ना भावार्थ को बहुत ज्यादा पकड़ने की जरूरत है. जिसको समझना है वो है परम. Once you understand yourself as param, all your thoughts die. All these thoughts resolve into the one thought, and one thought resolves into the Ishvara, Brahma. That is the one which doesn't go perish. So Bhagwan बोलते हैं, the wise man know he is Brahman even at the time of death. Even at the time of death, wise men know he is Brahman. The wise man, when all thoughts are being resolved, he knows that when there is no thought, it is Ishvara. When it is Ishvara, it is the Ishvara is the thought. I am the thoughtless Brahman. Thoughtless. There should be no thought. When there is no thought, it is Brahman alone. It is not I am not there. I am there as Ishvara, as Brahman, not as this body. What you see me, what you see is the body. Me as body, not as Brahman. Now this should be resolved into seeing only Ishvara, not the body. and even not seeing also. So भगवान कहते हैं अंत काले च, and at the time which is the end, the last moment is mama smarana, remembering me means the thought, all thoughts resolve in me. दिस इज सी, मैं अपन जो बात करेंगे वो परम की है. इट इज ओनली द परम, परम ओनली. वील टॉक ऑफ द परम. रिमेंबरिंग मी समद्भावयति, ही गेन्स माय नेचर. जिसका सब विचार, जिसके सब थॉट्स मुझ में रिजॉल्व, अपने होनेपन का थॉट भी मुझ में रिजॉल्व हो जाता है, और मेरा जो मेरा होना का विचार है, दैट विचार ऑल्सो रिजॉल्व्स, ओनली देन ही बिकम्स मी अलोन. वो मैं हो जाता है. मैं मीन्स ही इज ईश्वर अलोन. At the time, now Bhagwan talks from the point of view from Vyavaharik Drishti. At the time of one's departure from a given physical body in a given incarnation is called Antakhale. यहाँ पर व्यवहारिक बात में, when body is being at the last stage, when body is decaying and departing means going back to, वापस किस में जा रही है? Going back to the elementals, the basic elements. Going back to basic. आप जब शरीर को जला देते, then what is left? Air goes into air, water goes into water, space goes into space, Agni goes into Agni, and the Prithvi goes into Prithvi. What is there? It is elements alone. The body never, there was no body. It was only your thought which was seeing body. Because of certain gunas. See, don't get confused. Understand the basic. So भगवान व्यवहारिक दृष्टि से बताते हुए बोलते हैं, the time of one's departure from the given physical body in a given incarnation is called अंतकाले. इनकारनेशन का मतलब जब शरीर रूप से विदा करते हैं, शरीर का विदाई होती है, that is, it is the one time of one's death. It is not that only at the time of departure he remembers Ishvara, and such a person reaches Ishvara. Throughout his life, throughout, whether he has the body or not, the one who knows he or she is Brahman will always remember. Now here, Bhagwan is using the word remember. He will remember me means he will continuously think of me. His thoughts will not go anywhere else. Anywhere else means ऐसा नहीं है कि उसके अगर वो जीवित है, शरीर है, और वो ब्रह्म स्वरूप हो गया है, then he will not eat food. वो खाना नहीं खाएगा. He will eat food, but that food will be ईश्वरा alone. फूड भी ईश्वर है, खाना खाने का that action is ईश्वरा, खाना खाना का जो everything is ईश्वरा. Everything is ईश्वरा for him. He doesn't know. Now he is eating. ऐसा नहीं है कि उसको मीठा नहीं लगेगा या खट्टा नहीं लगेगा, मिर्ची नहीं लगेगी, but then it is all ईश्वरा. All the खट्टापन, मीठापन, चरकापन and everything, all that pana is Ishvara alone for him. So throughout his life too, the one who knows he or she is Brahman will remember me, Brahman. One's knowledge will not go away. The word smarana, meaning remembering, is used figuratively here. So you must understand, it is figuratively. What is actually meant here is that one who has knowledge of Brahman will have that knowledge even at the end of his or her life. Her life means when he is leaving the body, he knows that he is not the body. वो अपने आप अपने सत्य स्वरूप में, with the body he is there with the Swarupa, and without body also he is in Swarupa. He is, his thought, उसका जो विचार है, इस विचारा is only, he now this person doesn't have any vichara. The vichara is Ishvara alone. he doesn't have any vritti. The person, the jnanis, the siddhas, they don't have vichara, they have Ishwara only. देयर इज नो विचार. इसीलिए बोलते हैं कि जब स्वामी जी कुछ भी बात बोल दें, दैट इज ईश्वर वचनम, क्योंकि उनके मुख से ईश्वर वचन निकलते. ही इज नॉट द पर्सन, द इंडिविजुअल इज नॉट स्पीकिंग एनी मोर. इट इज ईश्वरा स्पीकिंग. It is Ishvara listening. It is Ishvara reacting. It is Ishvara who even blesses you. So if Brahman is an object of thought kept in memory, then at the time of death, Brahman will not be of any use to the person, because it will not come to mind. When one faces death, what is going to be thought of is what concerned one the most. If agar Brahma, agar koi, if you are the mind, if Brahman is an object of thought kept in memory, अगर वो कोई विचार हो, तो फिर आखिरी समय में ब्रह्म नहीं आएगा. ब्रह्म इज नॉट अ ब्रह्मन. ईश्वर इज नॉट अ विचारा. Vichara resolves into Brahman. See, this is to be captured. Brahman is not a vichara. Brahman alone, Param. All विचार, सारे के सारे थॉट्स जो हैं, सारे के सारे विचार जो हैं, वो ब्रह्म में रिजॉल्व हो जाते हैं, ब्रह्म में लीन हो जाते हैं. अगर ब्रह्म कोई ऑब्जेक्ट हो, सपोज कीजिए कि ब्रह्म इज एन ऑब्जेक्ट, it is an object in the mind, then at the time of death, at that last time, you will not remember Brahman. You will what अब आप किसको याद करेंगे? अरे मेरे को बहुत दर्द हो रहा है, कृपया दवाई लाओ, दवा लाओ. Give me some medicine so that I can survive. Or if survival is not possible of this body, then you say, oh, please get me some Ganga Jal and get me some Shed and all this and that. This thought will come, not Brahman. The one who has resolved into Brahman, जिसने अपने स्वरूप को पहचान लिया, he will not have any thought, because for him all thoughts, उसके लिए सभी संपूर्ण रूप से सारे के सारे विचार जो है वह ब्रह्म हो गए हैं. He is Brahman. For him, Brahman is not an object of memory, so which will come and go. For him, उसके लिए ब्रह्म कोई ऐसा विचार या ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं है जो अंत काल में आएगा. He is always Ishvara. He is always Brahman. Always Brahman. Always enlightened. This should be captured. When one faces death, what is going to be thought of it is what concerns one most. If Brahman is an object of thought and one has to rely upon thinking about it at the time of death, then one is taking a chance. One may think of it, or you may not. Even if one does think about Brahman at the time, it does not mean that one will know Brahman, because thinking about Brahman is not same as knowing Brahman. See, हम सारा जिंदगी भगवान के बारे में सोचते हैं, पर भगवान को जानते नहीं हैं. हम भगवान को सारा जीवन मानते, और लास्ट समय भी मानने से काम नहीं चलेगा. दिस इज व्हाट भगवान इज ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन. समझाने का जो प्रयास है वो ये है कि अंत काल में भी भगवान को मानने से काम नहीं चलता है. मानने से काम नहीं चलता है. मानने से काम नहीं चलता है. भगवान को जानना ही अनिवार्य है. भगवान को जानना ही एकमात्र सॉल्यूशन है. देयर इज नो अदर वे. कोई और रास्ता है नहीं. Brahman is the very nature of oneself. Brahman is the very nature. Now we are what जो आज हमने अभी बात करी, this is what Swami ji is going to explain in great detail, और ये 2-3 दिन तक हम समझेंगे. So don't worry, it is going to take time. समय लगेगा, पर क्योंकि हमें तो समझना है. What else are we for here? और किस लिए हैं हम यहाँ पर? हम सिर्फ समझने के लिए हैं, जानने के लिए हैं. क्योंकि हमने प्रॉब्लम क्या है? द प्रॉब्लम इज वी हैव स्टार्टेड थिंकिंग and we have started thinking, the first thought came was, I am, मैं हूं. Now this मैं हूं vichara is to be corrected. मैं हूं विचारा इज टू बी करेक्टेड. ये जो मैं हूं जो विचार है इसको ठीक करना है. इसको ठीक करके ये करना है कि जो है स ईश्वर है, और ईश्वर भी है नहीं, ओनली ईश्वरा. एंड ओनली ईश्वर में भी द वर्ड दैट जो वर्ड है ईश्वर, दैट इज ऑल्सो नॉट देयर, वो भी नहीं. अनंतम. वाह, that is the greatness of this text, ji. And the teacher, first people like Swamiji, the teacher like Swamiji, they have given their entire life teaching the Brahman. They are Brahman themselves. Only Brahman can actually teach Brahman, nobody else. Individuals can't, because individuals are incomplete. Only Ishvara is complete, and the one who is complete can tell a complete, can explain complete, can teach complete. Only Ishvara is Purnam. ईश्वर ही पूर्ण है, वही पूर्ण का ज्ञान देते हैं. So it is only teachers like Swamiji who can teach ji. Individuals can't. Individuals को कहाँ, अपना इंटरेस्ट ही पूर्ण नहीं होता, तो अपना इंटरेस्ट ही पूरा नहीं हुआ, वो ईश्वर को क्या जानेगा. The one who is involved is in own interests, वो ईश्वर को क्या जानेगा. So now let us understand in great detail. So Brahman is the very nature of oneself. The Brahman is the nature. The Brahman is the nature means ब्रह्म ही आपका एक जीव का स्वरूप, असली सत्य स्वरूप है. I am Brahman. I am Brahman is not just a statement. That is why Aham Brahmasmi is a Mahavakya. It is not just a Vakya. Aham Brahmasmi बोलने से ब्रह्म नहीं होता. ये सेंटेंस, दैट इज, एक याद होगा आपको, महाभारत में देयर इज अ स्टोरी अबाउट युधिष्ठिर और द्रोणाचार्य की एक स्टोरी है. द्रोणाचार्य ने अपने सभी शिष्यों को कहा, मैं सदा सत्य बोलता हूं, इस वाक्य को याद करके आओ. तो सब लोग नेक्स्ट डे आ गए एंड एवरीबडी रिसाइटेड, मैं सदा सत्य बोलता हूं, मैं सदा सत्य बोलता हूं. फ्रॉम भीम, अर्जुन, नकुल, सहदेव, दुर्योधन, दुशासन, एवरीबडी सेड मैं झूठ नहीं बोलता, मैं सदा सत्य बोलता हूं, मैं सदा सत्य बोलता हूं. बट युधिष्ठिर सेड, सिंस आई डोंट स्पीक एवरी टाइम, मैं हर समय सत्य नहीं बोलता हूं, समटाइम्स मैं कभी कभी झूठ बोलता हूं, सो आई कैन नॉट से दिस, मैं ये सेंटेंस नहीं बोल सकता हूं. So Dronacharya says, the Acharya, he was Acharya, he knew it, what is going in the mind, what is going in the, a teacher, no, the right teacher immediately recognizes, yes, this is the student who is capturing. So Dronacharya could make it. Yes, Yudhishthir is capturing the statement. So he said, okay, ठीक है, कल याद करके आना. कल भी याद करके नहीं आए. कल भी याद कैसे कर, याद थोड़ी करना है. There is nothing to be remember. यहाँ पर I am, मैं ब्रह्म हूं, ये कोई याद करने का थोड़ी है. ये कोई सेंटेंस थोड़ी है जो मैं ब्रह्म हूं, मैं दिनेश हूं, मैं ये हूं, मैं ईश्वरानंद हूं. नाउ दिस इज, ये याद करने के लिए नहीं है. मैं सो एंड सो हूं, ये याद करने का नहीं है. और यहां पर आई एम ब्रह्म, आई एम अहम ब्रह्मस्मि, आई एम ब्रह्मस्मि इज द महावाक्य. Vakya is what? It is the Mahavakya, is not just a statement, it is assimilated knowledge. So the Yudhishthira took about 8, 9, 10 days, 14 days, 14-15 दिन के बाद when द्रोणाचार्य scolded him, क्या तुम 4 शब्दों का सेंटेंस याद नहीं कर पा रहे? और धीरे धीरे in 14 days युधिष्ठिर started speaking only truth. युधिष्ठिर ने सिर्फ सत्य बोलने का अभ्यास किया. He came to know, yes, now I can say मैं सदा सत्य बोलता हूं. आफ्टर ये बात जब वो पूर्ण रूप से उनके दिमाग में, उनकी बुद्धि में स्थित हो गई, वो सत्य का स्वरूप हो गए, तब उन्होंने जाकर के गुरुजी के सामने बोला, मैं सदा सत्य बोलता हूं. All the other students were laughing. Why did he took so much of time? इतना समय क्यों लगाया युधिष्ठिर ने? सब हंस करके उनका मजाक उड़ाते हैं. Then Dronacharya ji asked, Acharya asked him, Yudhishthir, why did such a small statement took so much of time? Then Yudhishthira said, Guruji, this is not, I don't take any knowledge as mere statement. It is, I take it as assimilated knowledge. ये knowledge पूर्णत्व की ओर ले जाती है. The पूर्णम. मैं सदा सच बोलता हूं. The one who is Sat will speak such. This is, we will understand this when we will do that story. But अभी यहाँ पे बात करते हैं. Can it ever be matter of memory? क्या ये memory की बात है? मैं सदा सच बोलता हूं या मैं ब्रह्म हूं? No, it is not memory. One can remember 100 different things, but Brahman can never be one of them, because the one who remembers everything is Brahman. जो ये बोल रहा है वही तो है. जो बोल रहा है मैं ब्रह्म हूं, वो ब्रह्म कब बोल रहा है? जब वो ब्रह्म है. तो ये तब ये स्टेटमेंट कब बोल सकते हैं? जब आप रिकॉग्नाइज करें that I am not this body, I am not this thought. Without thinking, without even this should come automatically. And automatically means ये ज्ञान पूर्वक ये बात निकलनी चाहिए. I am Brahman alone. Aham Brahmasmi. So, on the other hand, the one who knows oneself as Brahman can never forget that one is Brahman, because it is one's very own nature and not an object of memory. मैं हूं में ये कोई मेमोरी में रखने में, कोई ये याददाश्त की चीज नहीं है. You are. Now, in case of your name, you don't have to remember your name. You are that name. You are that name. You are that name. भगवान कहते हैं, कलेवरम मुक्त्वा यह प्रयाति, giving up the physical body, the one who depart, where does he go? जो शरीर कहां जाता है? शरीर goes back to in its 5 elements. And where does the person go? The person, he reaches me, he gains my nature, the nature of Paramatma. He becomes one with me, the one which is ever present. वो जो है वो है नहीं रहता, वो परम ब्रह्म हो जाता है. He reaches me, वो मुझे प्राप्त होता है. He reaches me. He reaches me means he becomes one with me. उसका, now he reaches, just understand this. He reaches me means उसका जो thought है that I am body, that thought is no more there. He is that thought of me being body goes. Then what remains? He as Brahman, he as Param remains. He as Param remains. This one we should understand this very carefully. Very carefully this should be grasped. He reaches me, gains my nature, the nature of Paramatma. Sahamad bhavam yati. This person is Jivan Muktaha. Now this person is free from Jivan. Jivan means the what is what आप जीवन किसे बोलते हो? What is life? Just try to analyze what is life. Life is just chain of thoughts. It is just chain of thoughts. That first thought came when you said, I am born. आप पैदा हुए, that thought was there. From that, I am dying, I die, that is the last thought. That is chain of thoughts. What else? What else it is? The person who knows, the person is, if the person is not, he becomes, this person is जीवन मुक्ता. जो भगवान को, जो अपने सत्य स्वरूप को पहचान लेता है, he is free from all thoughts. He is free from, he breaks this chain. He breaks this chain of thoughts and he becomes one with Ishwara. Ishwara is not thought. He is thoughtless Brahman. So even while alive, one knows the identity between oneself and Brahman. What happens when one dies? If the person is not ज्ञानी, अगर उसने ज्ञान नहीं प्राप्त किया, अगर जीवन में ज्ञान नहीं प्राप्त किया, तो ऐसे का क्या होता है? When the physical body dies, his subtle body continues to exist. जिसने ज्ञान नहीं प्राप्त किया उसका क्या होता है? His vichara still continues. Now, जब शरीर में होता है, it is in form of vichara, and when he leaves the thought, when he leaves the body, the vichara in form of sanskara continues. All the vicharas in form of sanskara continues to exist because the casual body, the ignorance still exists. वो continue करते हैं because why do they continue? Because उसने अभी तक अपने विचारों की परंपरा को तोड़ा नहीं है. He hasn't understood. The ignorance still exists. Since there is self-ignorance, all his karmas are waiting to fructify. Fructify. You drink fruity, no? That is karma phala ji. Fructify. The karma phala fructifies in the next. According to his karma, the sanskara continues, and according to his karma, he gets another form. Form is paristhiti. He gets another paristhiti, and in that paristhiti, now he has the time to understand. He gets another mind in which the memory is in form of sanskara which enters. The sanskara enters. जो संस्कार हैं उससे वो और कर्म से बॉडी मिलती है. This is physical form. This is another theory which has to be understood. Here you must understand this, that the person continues. If he is not a ज्ञानी, अगर उसने ज्ञान को नहीं प्राप्त किया है, तो वो अज्ञानी व्यक्ति, that individual continues into the other form, and in other form he again gets mind, body, senses, and he has the time again to understand Ishvara. Again, if he doesn't understand, then he gets third body, and then again this silsila continues until he breaks it through knowledge. ज्ञान से इस परंपरा को जब तक वो नहीं तोड़ता, तब तक ये सिलसिला चलता रहता है. If the person is not jnani, when the physical body dies, his subtle body continues to exist because the casual body, ignorance, still exists. Since there is the self ignorance, all his karmas are waiting to fructify. So at the time of death, one assumes a body appropriate for those karmas and travel to places suitable for their fulfillment. What happens when wise men die? जब एक ज्ञानी शरीर त्यागता है तब क्या होता है? फॉर जीवन मुक्ता देयर इज नो जीवा, फॉर जीवन मुक्ता ही इज नो मोर अ जीवा. जो जीवन मुक्त हो चुका है, ही इज नो मोर जीवा, और ही इज ब्रह्मन अलोन. देयर इज ब्रह्म अलोन. He is Jivan Mukta. He is free from the Jivatvam. He is what? He is free from Jivatvam. For a Jivan Mukta, such a travel does not take place, because at the time of death, his subtle body disintegrates. At that time, well, only there is no death for him. Only the body. He knows. He has उसने अपने विचारों की परंपरा को तोड़ दिया है. Now he doesn't have any thought of being a body. उसको अब उसके पास ऐसा कोई विचार नहीं है. He doesn't have a thought that I am body. And he doesn't have a thought that I am Brahman, because he is a Jnani, he is Siddha, he is under. Siddha means he is one with Ishwara, he is Brahman. So for him, the body goes back to elements. For him, there is no death, nothing. For him, the body goes back to elements. And while it was there, it is elements. For him, there is nothing else. He is very clear. वो पूर्ण रूप से इस बात को समझ चुके हैं. For जीवन मुक्ता such a travel, उनको किसी भी तरह से, because he doesn't have to, his thoughts don't travel. उसके विचार जो हैं वो संस्कार बन करके और अगले जन्मों तक ट्रैवल नहीं करते हैं. Because he has broken the parampara of vichara. He has broken that chakra of life and death. He is free from. He is Siddha. He is Ishwara. He is Paramatma. This is only very few. This is what we have already seen. So the same Shastra that tells us that a person travels after death also tell us that the Jnani does not have any subtle body with which to travel. He doesn't have any subtle body. He doesn't have any subtle body means there is no sanskara for him to travel. For him, all has resolved. Everything has resolved in Ishvara, Paramatma. For him, everything is Ishvara. There is no subtle. Subtle means sanskara. Sanskar from body. That doesn't travel. There is no sanskara which can travel. Nothing for him. There is nothing left for. When there is only, when one has understood Paramatma, what is left? Nothing is left which can travel. So the travel is, there is no traveling from this body to another body. There is no traveling. He is free from all. He is free from this formless. He is Ishvara. He is Paramatma. This as a ऑब्जेक्टिफिकेशन रूप से भगवान बताते हैं. द सेम शास्त्र दैट टेल्स अस दैट पर्सन ट्रेवल आफ्टर डेथ also tells us that Jnani does not have any subtle body with which to travel. It has disappeared because it causes ignorance is gone. The casual body is ignorance, and knowledge of Atma being Brahman amounts to removal of that ignorance. The casual body is ignorance. Ignorance mane agyanta hai. That agyanta is gone. that I am body is gone. That ajnanata, I am body is gone. And I am, there is no I am, it is only Ishvara. That I am is gone. Only Ishvara, Atma, Paramatma is, Brahman amounts to removal of that. When the cause is gone, naturally the effect is not there. Once the thread are burned, the piece of cloth cannot remain. Similarly, once the ignorance is gone, the subtle body cannot remain. Therefore, there is no travel. Therefore, there is no travel. Bhagavan says, giving up this body, he reaches me alone. Reaching is purely figurative here. There is nothing called reaching. Reaching means understanding, clearly being. And being is also not there. फिर होना, मैं ईश्वर हूं में भी होनापन खत्म हो जाता. Even the word goes, nothing is left. Even nothing is gone, nothing bhi nahi. Paramatma, only alone. Bhagwan has already said what he means by me, Param Brahma. Param Brahma is non-separate from Atma. Therefore, there can be no real reaching. Reaching is only in the sense of being non-separate from Ishvara. Reaching, पहुंचने का मतलब ईश्वर हो जाना, जाने का मतलब है कि सिर्फ दैट आई एम नॉट सेपरेट फ्रॉम, मैं ईश्वर से, मैं ये जानना, सिर्फ जानने से मतलब है. However, a particular thing cannot assume the nature of another. A given object which has its own nature cannot give it up and still exist in its original form. But here the nature of Atma is already Brahman. The Jivan Mukta knew this even while alive. Dead, there is nobody, no separate individual. While one was alive, there was seeming doer and enjoyer. Now that too is not there. Therefore, knowledge one was performing action. After knowledge, one was seemingly performing actions. After death, meaning when the body is no more, there is no one to even seemingly माने देख ऐसा समझते हुए do. So one is gone once and for all. Once and for all, the person, the person, ये मैं ऐसा विचार, the parampara of vichara is gone. For him, that thought is gone. Atra nasti samyat, there is no doubt about it. Bhagwan says, atra here means with reference to this, it is not an assurance but purely a statement of fact. ये कोई आपको अश्योर करने है, this is the statement, this is the fact. The Vastu being eternal, there is no question of being born. Once one knows oneself as that Vastu, how can one be born? जब आपने जान लिया, जब आपने ज्ञान समझ लिया, जब आपने समझ लिया, and that समझ has resolved. समझ लिया से कम नहीं, that समझ has resolved into Brahman, and Brahman alone is. And that is also not there, it is only Param. Then there is nothing left, ji. Even is gone. So how can one, there is no birth and death. What is eternal cannot be born. जो परम है वो पैदा होना, होनापन, उसका होनापन जो है वो खत्म हो गया. There is no होनापन, it is Param. Even before this knowledge, one was eternal but did not know this fact. ये बात को समझने से पहले भी, मतलब राइट नाउ, इस वक्त जब हम इस बात को पूर्ण रूप से नहीं समझते, तब भी ब्रह्म ही है, तब भी ब्रह्म ही है. इट इज ओनली the ignorance which is, because of which there is so much of confusion. Therefore, there was a false entity that accumulated karma phala and require further birth. Now one knows one's nature as a karta, and so there is no question of any further birth for him. There is not one Ishwara before knowing and another one आफ्टर नोइंग. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको जानने से, आप जब तक जानते नहीं है तब तक एक ईश्वर है, और जब जान जाएंगे तो जानने वाला ईश्वर दूसरा है. ऑल दैट इज देयर इज वन वस्तु, ऑल दैट इज देयर इज ईश्वर. जब आप नहीं जाने तब भी ब्रह्म है, और जब जान जाएंगे तब भी ब्रह्म है. इट इज, तो नहीं जाने बिना ही रह लेते हैं ना, यू विल ऑलवेज रिमेन इन इग्नोरेंस. Ignorance means confusion. And all this confusion is all what is dukkham, what is it called? Depression and all that. And you remain in that. The one who knows that my nature, mad bhavayati. There is no doubt or question whether one goes to Paramatma or not, because one already is Paramatma. Where is then a question of his on going to Paramatma? Where is then the question? So, examining some popular concept of moksha. Now we will examine some concepts. Moksha ka kya matlab hai? So the expression mad bhavayati has been subject to various interpretation. Swamiji has gone into great detail. He will now explain. उन्होंने सारे तरह के interpretations के द्वारा ये समझाने का प्रयास किया that before and after and in between it is Brahma alone. Let us understand this. So the expression mad bhavam yati has been subject to various interpretations. We need to understand the Shastra well, and to do so, we must be very clear about what is moksha. ये बात स्वामी जी, why Swami ji is explaining in this great detail? The problem is you have to understand the Shastra as it is. You have to understand moksha as moksha, nothing else as going to heaven or going to Vaikuntha Loka or anything like that. Moksha means, what does moksha actually means? Moksha actually means you are knowing bhi nahi, you are Brahman alone. And even these words also resolve, everything resolves. Even Brahman is resolves. That is why in the starting, in the very starting, the third slok, Bhagavan jab bole, what did Bhagavan said? Bhagavan said, Aksharam Brahma Paramam. He said, I am the one. I am the one. I am means Brahma is the one. Brahma Param. Brahmam Paramam Param. He didn't say Brahmam Asti. Brahma hai aisa nahi bola. Brahma hai nahi. Brahma Paramam Paramam. Paramam. है nothing else के लिए. There is nothing. There what is? Nothing is. Only Brahma. Brahma is Param, not is. So you have to understand this very clearly. So moksha ko bhi agar janna hai, so you have to understand moksha as it is, not as something else, as per the interpretation. So one commentator interprets this verse as saying, the one who gives up the body thinking of me, Narayan, goes to Vaikuntha. According to him, going to heaven is moksha. Vaikuntha can be replaced by another concept of heaven. Since it is popular concept, it is worth examining here. So we must understand this, all these concepts. See, we have to, in all ways, all matter, we have to understand Shastra as it is. That is why these great teachers know. ये जो teachers हैं, Swami ji, people like Swami Prabodhanand, Swami Dayananda, दे उन्होंने अपना पूरा का पूरा जोर लगा दिया समझाने में। All their bodily strength was into explaining the correctness. पर बहुत कम लोग समझ पाए जी, कोई बात नहीं, हम प्रयास करेंगे। सो आज की क्लास हम यही कंप्लीट करेंगे। कल हम ब्रह्म संयुज्य इज नॉट मोक्षः, इसके बारे में समझेंगे। द कनेक्शन इज दैट वन गोज टू हेवन, इसके बारे में हम कल बात करेंगे। कल नहीं, मंडे को सुबह 7:30 बजे फिर क्लास करेंगे। आज की क्लास को हम यहीं पर विराम देंगे। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम तत्सत्। ओम ईश्वर अर्पणमस्तु। ओम परमात्मने अर्पणमस्तु। ओम श्री कृष्णाय अर्पणमस्तु। हरि ओम तत्सत्। हरि ओम तत्सत्। हरि ओम तत्सत्।